Coach, obviously not the result you guys wanted. What happened there after you jumped out to the early lead? Notre Dame was able to get back in the game.
I think the story of the game was too many turnovers for us. We typically take care of the ball very well, and we didn't tonight. And give Notre Dame credit, I thought their defense was really good. In particular, Hannah, she had a bunch of steals, and they were able to convert those turnovers into easy points. They had 25 points off turnovers, and that's what ultimately crushed us.
When you look at the Notre Dame team, you guys fought back in the second half. What allowed you to get back in the game there? You closed the gap all the way down to 2.
Well, we were stringing stops together, and that was leading to great transition opportunities. And then when we quit getting stops and quit getting out in transition, it kind of went back the other way.
We knew that their star was going to get their points. When you saw her out there, now I think she ended with 28. How do you think you guys did at slowing her down?
You know what? I thought we did okay in the half court, but when she gets those steals and gets out in transition and gets easy layups because of it, that's what really hurts you. She's a great player, and like I said, ultimately the steals that she got in the open floor, the live ball turnovers were really detrimental to us.
When you look at the squad, we kind of talked about it as a rebuilding year going back to the fall, but now you guys are in a 3 seed. What was your message to the locker room as you try to move forward here?
This is going to sting. This is a really, really tough loss. But where we were to where we ended the year, I think we made a lot of progress. We have great kids, and so I'm hopeful that as time goes on, they can really remember how they supported each other, how they played together, and that chemistry that we created, because I think that's a really important lesson to move forward with.
Chance Gray plays her last game for you. What has her career meant to this program?
Well, she's a great kid, and we're really fortunate to have had her here for 2 years. And, everyone's seen how good she is on the court, but, what she's done in the locker room, what she's done as a leader, and probably as importantly, what she's done in this community and in her community in Cincinnati is just a great kid.
When you look at Jelani, she did everything she could, 41 points. She's the first Buckeye since Kelsey Mitchell to score that in an NCAA tournament game. What was it like to watch her try to just will this team to a win?
Yeah, she's a special player. She's extremely competitive. She gave it everything she had tonight, obviously, and she made a lot of electric plays. And I just wish that as a team we could have played a little bit better and given her a little bit more help.
When you look at where the program is, how proud are you of the fact that you guys did reach this point this season in a year where, as we said, it wasn't 3 seed wasn't always the expectation?
Yeah, I'm very proud of this group, and like I said, we made such progress. It's just disappointing to get to this point and not play well at the end. But you got to give Notre Dame credit; they played well. Like I said, this group made a lot of progress this year. I think we've got a great foundation and a lot of good things to come. But just definitely a disappointing loss.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Obviously, a frustrating end of the season. What was going through your mind as they kind of got back in the game there in the second quarter?
We just needed to play better. They were playing harder than us. We kind of got in our heads, and they were just playing harder than us.
You guys fought back in the third quarter there, made it a game. Layup makes it 52-54. What was the conversation then?
Just keep playing. We were right there. I think the whole game, even though they were getting up, we were still right there, and we just weren't executing as we should have been.
When you look at, you had 41 points. What were you trying to do down the stretch there, trying to will the team really back into the game?
I was just doing whatever I needed to do for my team. No matter I score 41 or 0, it doesn't matter if you lose. So at the end of the day, I wanted to win. So yeah.
Obviously, a great season. You score over 800 points. Do you use this now and try to work for next year already? When do you allow your mind to kind of shift from that?
First, I'm going to take a break. It's been a long season. Got through a lot of things, so I'm going to take a break, try to step away from basketball and focus on other things in life because it's more to life than just basketball. Just get ready for next year.
What do you think allowed you to get that fast start and then Notre Dame kind of took control from there?
I think we shared the ball really well. We were playing fast-paced basketball and getting rebounds and going.
When you look at this career that you've had at Ohio State, what allows this to be such a special program, and how will you reflect on your career?
Yeah, I think this team this year is a family, and I loved playing with them, and I loved every single person. I always said that I could go and hang out with anyone on this team and have a good time. So I'm just very blessed that I had that for my senior year.
When you were in that locker room, what was said? What did Coach say, and what did you guys say to the team?
It's hard to know what to say after a loss like that. It's something that you had control of at one point. So it's just going to bite. That's pretty much what was said, but just be proud of where we came from.
You guys did fight back there in the second half. You hit a big 3, you got it all the way down to 2. What was the conversation at halftime about trying to get back in the game?
We knew that if we played our style of basketball that we had a chance to win the game. Just had too many turnovers.
When you guys kind of take that final moment on your singing Carmen, Ohio, what's going through your mind?
Just bittersweet, sad that it's over. Yeah.
still a great career here and a lot of friendships made.
Yeah, for sure.